Good afternoon, good morning, good evening if you are live here today. Oops, let's go back. Screwed that one up. Okay, there we go. Anyways, my name is Brett. I'm your host today for our weekly clinic where I answer your startup questions here live on YouTube. So if you have a question for me, you can put it in the chat box on YouTube and I'll be happy to answer it. And let's go through a little bit of training like we always do to start. And today's topic is execution. And the reason why I want to talk about execution because it's really the only form of job security that you have as a CEO. So I want to start by clearing up a belief that you might have, which might get you into trouble. And it's this: there is no protection, none at all, by owning the majority of your startup. None. It's not going to save you. It will not protect you. And it will not keep you as the CEO. So why might you fixate on this control instead of what you should be fixated on, which is your performance? What are you actually trying to protect yourself from? Because here's the reality. If investors want you out as CEO, they will find a way. They always do. Because we need their money as CEOs to keep going along. And that means, where's the control? Well, it's with them. And the control is never as absolute as you think it is. You've probably seen this played out before. All I have to tell you is this person's name, Travis Kalanick, Uber's founding CEO. He had voting control. He set it up. And what happened? It did not matter. The board still removed him. Why? Because control doesn't outweigh execution. And it definitely doesn't outweigh bad behavior, being difficult, burning trust, creating chaos. These things erase your leverage faster than any cap table you've organized can protect it. So let me offer you a better way to think about your security, your job security as CEO. Execute. Execute your plan. Don't be a jerk. Build trust. That's it. Be that one CEO in your investor's portfolio who actually gets the job done without being a jerk. Be the one who hits your milestones. Be the one that doesn't create drama. Be the one who makes life easier, not harder. Because if you're that CEO, you're not going to get fired. So if you're spending your time worried about ownership percentages, voting rights, or control structures, ask yourself this: what would happen if you put that same energy into execution? Because execution is the only real job security the role has. Okay, so with that, I am going to start answering your questions. And our first question is this: when should you fire your co-founder? And I want to start by maybe a different thought process than that. You're asking yourself when to fire your co-founder, but the real issue is, why are you hesitating to fire your co-founder? What are you protecting right now? The company or the relationship? If this person was not your co-founder, Would this even be a question? If your co-founder joined today with the same behavior, would you keep them? The hardest part about firing a co-founder isn't the decision to fire them. It's accepting that history doesn't entitle somebody to the future. Culture is not what you write down, it's what you tolerate. If one person is making everyone quietly miserable, which is something I lived through, you don't have a personnel problem. You have a leadership problem, and it's yours to solve. Okay, let's go to our next question. What should your hiring criteria be? Excellent question. So let me push on how this question usually shows up. Everybody I talk to always says the same thing, which is correct, by the way, and that's that you want to hire great people. I get it. But what happens? You may be quietly filtering for people who don't threaten you. Why would you ever hire somebody you need to feel superior to? What does that say about your confidence as CEO or any of your managers, by the way, who do the same thing? If you're the CTO or the VP of engineering, if your CTO or VP of engineering is uncomfortable hiring somebody stronger than them, then that's not a hiring issue. What is it? It's a leadership issue. Because what happens? A players, it's the old saying, A players hire A players. And what do B players hire? C players. And what will B players and C players do for us? They'll get you killed. So the real hiring criterion isn't experience or resume. It's whether you're willing to surround yourself with people who raise the bar, even when it exposes your own limitations, even when they might be better than you, which is what you want. So if you have a question for me, you can put it in the chat box and I will be happy to answer it for you. If you haven't already joined my free group, Free Forever for Startup CEOs, Zero to Pitch, there is a link on my YouTube page. All you have to do is click it, answer a couple questions, and you will be in. And you can start getting yourself from wherever you are right now to moving to a foundational level in your business. And if you want to go from foundational level to what I call investor ready, which means you are truly ready to get an investment from investors, then join my other group, Zero to Pitch Gold. There's a link also on the YouTube page for that if you want to get to investor ready, which is where you want to be when you start raising money. Okay, I have another question. Yet another question I love. Should I hire a COO? Oh, this is one of my favorites. And I'm going to reject the thought process of hiring a COO for an early stage company. Because here's my question back. Why are you trying to solve an execution problem with a title? What are you actually trying to get off your plate? And why do you think a title is going to do that for you? Because here's the reality. Early stage startups don't need, full stop, do not need a COO. What do they need? They need you to stay in the details, to get your hands really dirty, to know every little bit about your company. That's what successful startups do. So if you bring in a COO too early, and I can just about guarantee you, if you are watching this, it is too early, then you're not delegating. You are avoiding. And avoiding the uncomfortable truth that your job early on is two things. It's strategy and execution and operations, being able to be in the details. So when's the right time to hire a COO? Long time from now. It's when the work has outgrown you, not when you've grown tired of it. Okay, let's see if we have any other questions today. If you have a question for me, you can put it in the chat box. I'll give you guys another minute or so to ask me any questions. We'll see if there are any others. Okay, always happens just when I'm about to. Okay, so the question is, how much traction do I need to get an investor? So this is an impossible question for me to answer. And the reason why I say this is that every company, every situation is different, including yours. So instead of worrying about how much traction you need, think about it this way, because this will be a smarter and more effective way for you to do things. Think about how I can reduce the risk in my company, because from your perspective as a CEO, this is when you and your investors are on the exact same side of the table. So whatever you can do to reduce risk is going to improve the chances of you getting an investment. How much? I can't say. I'd have to know a ton more than this to even give somewhat of an educated answer on it. But that's the general direction you want to go. Let's see if we have any other questions today. Okay. Okay, I'm just waiting for some more questions to pop in. I have SEIS in advanced assurance that reduces risk in the UK. Okay, good for you. Those keep moving in that direction. Okay, I'll give you guys another bit of time here to ask another question. There we go. Okay. I have some e-commerce brand startups. Where would it be best to pitch my e-brands? Okay, yet again, way too broad a question for anybody to answer. So the question you're trying to ask, which is, hey, where do I go? And I'm assuming you're talking about where do I pitch to raise money? You need to think about it, and you need to get a lot more detailed in how you think about it in terms of how do you find investors for your startup. So there's a whole bunch of different things that you have to look at to be able to do this. and you have to get through these. And it goes down to, I'll give you the basic criterion, which is you have to look at where are the invest, because not all investors are created equal. So you have to figure out which investors are going to be right for you and where do you go. And that's a much more detailed thing. If you're interested in this, I will be having a free workshop on this next week, not on YouTube. Next Wednesday, I will be having a free workshop on this. And if you're part of my email list or you're part of my Zero to Pitch community, you'll get notifications on this and you can sign up for that. It'll be at exactly this time next Wednesday. And I'll go through how do you do this in a lot more detail than I can do in a Q&A today. Okay, let's see if we have any other questions. Okay, looks like we don't have any more questions for today. So the next step for you, if you're not part of my free community, Zero to Pitch, it's time to join. Go over to my YouTube page and start getting in, start joining up, just click on the link and it's free. And this will get you to a foundational level so you can build a strong foundation for your startup. And then if you want to take the next step, join my other community, Zero to Pitch Gold, and that will get you all the way to becoming investor ready where you can raise money. So that, I want to thank everybody. Have a great day, and I will see you again next week. Remember to come to my workshop next Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.